Well, hey there, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to our Sunday gathering for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's legacy, for Toki's legacy. I'm so glad that people are joining. People are joining slowly. I had to re-share it for some reason. It got some weird glitch. So let's go around the room and say hello while everyone's joining. Let's check in with you, Marcia. How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing so well. I'm in beautiful Verdant, Vermont right now with family, and it's really beautiful and just doing great. So great to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for being with us as usual. Christina, how are you?
I'm awesome. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming, Gloria and Joe. It's going to be a great show.
And you are awesome, by the way. Stephanie, how's it going?
Good. From the land of 10,000 lakes.
Very good. Deb Cruz, how are you?
Hanging in there as always.
Well, that's lucky for us. Deborah, what's happening?
Oh, just happy to be back too after 2 weeks off, just to see these beautiful faces. So always hope for a good new world. Mwah.
Awesome. And we're lucky today we have Joe Olson with us. What's happening, Joe?
Oh, just having a good cloudy, rainy day in Seattle. Just got back from the farmer's market and made a nice farmer's market breakfast, brunch. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Gloria has to say today.
Awesome. We're almost to Gloria. Let's check in with Howard. How are you?
Real good. Like Joe says, it's a northwest rainy kind of day, a TokiTV day. Shades of gray are out there. It's beautiful.
Oh, awesome. And you guys, we're really lucky to have Gloria Pancrazi with us today. Gloria's an award-winning director, producer, and community organizer. She intertwines storytelling and community action to meaningfully contribute to environmental and social justice. Her work particularly focuses on amplifying Indigenous voices, healing and protecting the Pacific Northwest coast and all its being. So Gloria, hello. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor to be speaking with all of you today.
I'm super psyched about it. We have a lot to talk about because you do a lot. Let's get first kind of go way back to your filmmaking career. When did you start getting into that?
Yeah, it started with the Southern resident orcas when I've loved orcas ever since I was a kid. I think like many people, Free Willy got my heart. And after that, I was just obsessed with whales. And when I came out of university, I really felt a calling to work with orcas. And so being in Canada, I kind of gravitated towards the Southern resident orcas and volunteered around any jobs I could get. And I ended up working on the annual reports on the Southern resident orcas. So I was kind of getting all the really grim facts. And, I was just like, oh, okay, this is the situation. And I really, really wanted to help. And I didn't know how, except I had a degree in journalism. And I had also always really seen, at least for me, I had seen documentaries like Blackfish or Shark Water and the impact they could have and how they could really inspire people to take action. So I was like, maybe I'll make a film. And I had zero experience in how to make a film. It was going to be like a 15-minute GoPro video from the summer I worked with Straight Wash, where we were monitoring vessel traffic around the Southern resident orcas. And I did not film 1 minute of footage because I was when you're on the water, obviously you're like focusing on doing all the other things, making sure that you're being safe out there and educating folks, all of that. But I did meet Elena Jean, and she was also working to help the Southern resident orcas through storytelling. And so together we were like, okay, let's try and make like a 90-minute film. Let's try and get it on Netflix. Let's try and make it as big as possible to try and really get it to as many people as possible. And that started my filmmaking journey. But it's always been really anchored in activism and how can I, support movements and support work that is being done with storytelling. And that's kind of the beginning of it.
That's really awesome. And you had never done it before?
No, but my parents do work in the film industry, so that helped a lot. Though they do like fiction, but I could come with them and be like, how do you do this? It was very different because documentary filmmaking is very like low budget. a lot of the times you don't have funding, you just go out and do stuff. And so I would, you know, they'd be like, well, your budget needs to be like this big. And I was like, I don't have money. I just have to go out and film. Like, how do you do that? So it was really helpful to just have a sounding board and all of that. And then obviously in the film, we partnered with people who had, one of our producers and cinematographers had done a first feature film before. But most of us were first-time filmmakers in it. We kind of just learned on the go, and we worked on it for 4 or 5 years. So we just kept working on it until it was at the level that we really felt it was a powerful enough film.
And that's what I was going to ask you, how long it took. So 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Should we show the trailer? I'm just excited to show the trailer because
I love the trailer.
Really cool. All right, let's do that. Let me pop it up real quick. Here we go.
What are you seeing out there? Just picked it up. Still got it. Pretty bad.
There's clearly a pattern that the southern resident killer whales are not getting enough food and they're dying because of it. They're starving.
Oh, that's awful.
You guys, I'm gonna show it a different way because that way is not working for me. So give me 1 second. Because I was not, you want to hear it too. That would be helpful. So let me go around. 1 second.
What are you seeing out there? Just picked it up. Still got it. Pretty bad.
There's clearly a pattern that the southern resident killer whales are not getting enough food and they're dying because of it. They're starving.
Oh, that's awful.
You know, we're in a time now when there's opportunity to stop it.
Industry has been able to just come in and move in and leave us with a disaster, a mess to clean up. The government has a very big, embarrassing stain on their history.
Not one orca whale did we lose while we were the stewards of that Snake River.
You know what? We've been far too nice for far too long. We're not asking for our land back. We're taking it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Chilling. Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Me too. Every time I'm like, whoa. Yeah.
Wow.
Every time I see it, it's just, you have some of the most amazing orca footage I've seen in any documentary. It's really incredible. And your messaging, your storyline, your impact is just perfect. It's just great. I love this film. I'm glad to see all those awards that it won. How is it going in terms of getting it onto the, Netflix and the major servers, etc.?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. So we got a distributor, Blue Ant Media. And actually, before saying that, just thank you for all your words, because I mean, Howard, I've looked up to your work ever since I was in love with the Southern Resident Orcas. So it feels really, it was one of my dreams to know that the film would make a difference, and it means a lot to hear that it is. So thank you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Blue Ant Media is our distributor, and so they're working to kind of get it out. And really, to get it out on a streaming platform, you need a distributor. It doesn't work from the filmmaker to just go and try and talk to Netflix. Mm-hmm. And so they're working on it. What we have right now is that it's on EarthX Film, so it'll be once in a while it'll be on TV, and the website will be updated soon with the new TV schedule. Right now, if you go on it, it's outdated. It's from March, so. If you go on our website and you see that, don't worry. It will be updated soon. So that's the best way to watch it in the States right now. In Canada, it is streaming for free on CBC Gem. So I don't know. Maybe maybe try and get to Canada.
Or just you just use a VPN.
I can't say that, but yes.
I know. I'm sorry, but I said it there.
I agree. And then we are doing screenings still, and it's really cool to see people still be interested in watching the film. Sometimes, films kind of die out after a few years, but we just got Hot Docs in Canada who shared it with a bunch of schools, and over 6,000 students watched the film, and it was their top film in their school program. So that was super cool. And so we're definitely, if you're interested in doing a screening, reach out to us. We do like school screenings, public screenings, anything. And that's been a really great way to, it's always really powerful to be in the same room when you watch the film. And then we'll do usually a little panel or a Q&A. And I find it's a great way to engage people.
I can already think of like 4 different events where that would be pretty amazing to have a screen. So yeah, let's talk about that, Joe.
Has it played in Europe yet?
Yes, we had the best. So one of our teammates, and some of you might know her, Morgan Trussardi. She is many different things: a filmmaker, YouTuber, activist, influencer. And so she brought the film to Europe. We brought it to Le Grand Rex, which is the biggest theater in France. And I think we packed the room with almost 2,000 people. It was absolutely insane. Will George and Ernest Alfred came to France. The speech was so, the words they shared afterwards. Then at the very end, Will drums, and towards the end of the drumming, Ernest kind of whispers to the folks of us on stage, being like, raise your fist up. And so we do that, and both Morgan and I are like, we can't look at the room because it's just the energy is so intense. And then finally we look up, and every single person in the room is standing up with their fist up. It was so powerful. You could feel how everyone was just in the movement. They wanted to help. They were ready. And yeah, bringing it to Europe has been, and we have a lot of Europeans are so keen to love the Southern Resident Orcas. They really love it.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to bring it to.
And didn't you get a whole lot of signatures there for reaching the dams, right?
That was mostly Morgan, and she brought 6 influencers to San Juan Island, and they got a lot of signatures. So we worked with her to kind of direct her to the different action items or calls to actions that she should give to her audience. But that was her. Yeah, I think that was 2018. And we still work together and really always try and see how we can help with breaching the dams and all the other actions that got to happen.
So exactly. Awesome. Lots of actions that need to happen for sure.
Yeah.
How many students did you say?
6,000.
Awesome.
Yeah. That was really cool.
I want to repeat that because that's where it's at, right? We always say that this next generation and people want to make a difference, and 6,000 people.
That makes big ripples. That could really, in years to come, they're going to remember that and carry it forward and get very involved. I do believe. Yeah.
So and I'm curious, we can talk about this after, but really, I mean, you just go through, do we all just hit up our public schools in different areas? Or, I mean, we do I'm already thinking in my state, who do I call to have this done in just this, it deserves a spotlight, and these kids deserve to know what's happening. And the schools, we know so much of what used to happen that was never taught in the schools, and something that needs to be taught in the schools and shared with the youth. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I think definitely reaching out to public schools and private schools and all the schools being like, hey, there's this, especially if you have a connection to it, feel free to connect me directly with them. Okay. I'm sure. So Hot Docs has a school program, and Co-Extinction got into that one, and then they did all that work. So I'm even curious to see, obviously it's beautiful if it comes from parents or from people who have connections with schools, but maybe there's even a program. I'm curious, does Seattle Film Festival have one, or, something where the film festival brings it to schools themselves? That would be another way to do it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. People are saying they want to see this played in their schools in Arizona. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of folks who are watching. Obviously everyone's dedicated to this cause. And so I think however we can.
we on our website, coextinctionfilm.com/watch, there's a little way to kind of, it's a little form, you fill it out, and then we get a request for the screening. And that's the best way to kind of ask to do a screening. But also feel free to email us. We'll probably direct you then to that website. But if the website feels a bit complicated, just email us saying I want to do a screening, and then we'll work with you to make that happen.
So this is it, right?
Yeah, and then so watch now. And then click here to host a screening. That's the one.
Oh, there we go. You guys see all? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is really, really great. Thank you for. Yeah. All right. Let me take that down.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll reshare that. But that's the website. Deb Cruz has it up. coextinctionfilm.com/watch. And then that you guys, I just walked you through that, so that should be easy to find. Yeah, we got to get this out there. We'll come back to the film because clearly that's, I want to see you do a lot of other work too. Talk to us about some of the things that you've worked on or are working on that you'd like to share.
I kind of definitely the southern resident orcas and the Pacific Northwest coast is kind of what I follow. So wherever I finished co-extinction and then I was like, what now? What do I do? And it was kind of scary because for 4 or 5 years, I knew exactly what I was doing and where I was going. And after that, I was like, oh, how do I continue to help these whales? So I find things have kind of popped up in the perfect way for me. Kind of, it's been very obvious what the next step has been. So I'm really grateful for that. So after co-extinction, Will George from Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's Nation, which is where Vancouver is in Canada, asked us if we wanted to continue doing this work and asked us if we wanted to make a film with him showing his work that he's doing to stop the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion project, which has just started running in Canada, which is very heartbreaking. For those who might not know, it's going to increase tanker traffic 7-fold. And it's going through unceded First Nations land who have said no to this pipeline, and it's going to come in the way of their rights to, connect with the land and harvest and all of these things. So we followed his life journey, how he was chosen by his community and by his spiritual leaders to protect his lands and waters, and how then he was arrested for peacefully protesting this pipeline. And we follow his journey in the court system, and we see kind of all the systemic issues and racism in the Canadian legal system. And then we also follow kind of his healing journey and how he connects with the water and his culture to heal from all of this trauma. So that's the film we just worked on for the last 2 years. We are starting to kind of work on the impact campaign for it. Similarly, it's only available in Canada, but this one, we're working on getting it out, like streaming in the US soon. It probably won't be on a platform. It'll be through like Vimeo or something like that. We learned from co-extinction. We want people to just be able to watch it and have it really easily accessible. But yeah, that was a really powerful film, and we're working with Will on how we can create change in the legal system and maybe even with like injunctions. And I don't know, we're working on it with that. And this is all with Coexistence Films, which is my organization that I run with 2 other awesome guys who worked on co-extinction as well. Nick and Andrew. And one of the other projects we're working on, which was very recent, so I'm working with Ione Jones, who is from the Palouse tribe. I got connected with her because we were working closely with Carrie and Jesse Nightwalker, and after Jesse passed away, we just wanted to keep helping, wanted to get connected with his family, and started to kind of do these meetings with Ione where we're listening to the amazing work she's doing and wanted to help. And eventually I kind of asked, I was like, would you want to maybe make a short film about your work? Because she is picking up, this family mission that has been put on them to rematriate the land, to bring their people back to the river, to bring the bones that were stolen from the river when the dams were put in, and to breach the dams. So we're working with her. She just finished the 2nd annual Palouse healing canoe journey, where she brought, I think, 20 to 40 people, maybe even more, to the Snake River, and they canoed. They planted native species. They did just a lot of beautiful rematriation work, and we filmed it to kind of start to see how we can tell the story. So that's one of the projects I'm currently working on.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Kind of here, there, whatever's happening when there's an action, I want to help. So like when there's a campaign with the dams, I'm like, all right, how can we use our platform? And then we'll get stuff out. Always wanting to help.
I'll show a couple pictures from.
Yeah.
And feel free to correct me if I'm putting them in the wrong place, but if you could kind of walk us through.
Yeah, so this is Ione by Lower Monumental Dam. We went there and she planted a rose by the dam. It was so surreal. I forgot. It had been 4 years that I was by the dams, and I didn't actually know this, but they shoot these like firework like things at birds so the birds don't get close enough, and it felt so dystopian. And then there was this helicopter that flew above us. We were with some of the Great Old Broads, and Deborah was saying how, we were escorted through the dam, and she was saying how she's done this like 15 times where she has to drive through it, and never once was she escorted. So just all of this stuff. And then all Ione was doing is just planting a native rose, and yeah, to have like the helicopter fly above us, which we believe was the U.S. Army Corps, was just really wild. But it was really powerful and healing to see all the healing that needs to happen outside of the river, all across the lands that were then, became farmland. There's just so much. These were some of the canoes. This is a cedar dugout. It was so beautiful. Yeah, it was really, really powerful what she did, and to just reconnect with the river personally after being away for 4 years. This is our cinematographer, Paul Wilson. He's from Klamath. And so that was really cool because he's been doing a lot of work with the Klamath River, who's being undammed. And it was just so hopeful to be working with someone who is kind of like on the other side of it, and all the work that's happening to heal the land now. And that always kind of gave me a lot of hope that the Snake River will be free. Yeah.
It will be free. We're gonna breach those dams. The snake will be free. It will be. Yep.
Yeah, and thanks to people like you, Gloria, using your talents and gifts to raise awareness, and those 6,000 kids who had never seen it, who just are going to have a different purpose, and just it matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Much. I'm show some other pictures here. This is you.
Oh yeah, I volunteer sometimes at Orca Lab, which I love so dearly. It's a research lab station up north of Vancouver Island on Yucatan, which is Hansen Island. And they monitor orcas all from land. So they have these hydrophones and underwater cameras and above cameras. And so you're able to know the orcas and what they're doing all through listening to them. And it is the most beautiful thing. You can be listening at like 4 a.m. It's pitch black, and you're hearing, exactly which, pod of and which family of northern resident orca is at the rubbing beach, echolocating like crazy. Meanwhile, it's like 4 a.m. pitch black, and they're in their whole other world, and you know exactly where they're going and where they were. And it's the most magical experience.
That's awesome that you do that. We've had Paul on here before, Paul and Helena. So that, we're familiar with them and their work, and it's just so cool. Like there's all these like connections. Giles just texted me and said for me to tell you hi. She couldn't jump on, but Dr. Giles wanted me to tell you hi, Gloria. So she's
hi, Giles. And I see Peggy too. Hi, Peggy. It feels so good to just, the community is so special, and like I find it always gives me so much energy to keep going. And so thank you for like bringing me on and getting to like reconnect with some of you I haven't seen in a really long time.
That's really, really awesome. So the film, okay, so let's go back to the film just a little bit. Who is this?
This is Elena, who I told you about, who I worked with. So we co-directed the film together. She kind of came in with her focus was in general the extinction crisis, and mine was very much the southern resident orcas. But so it was really cool. I think that's how we kind of came to look at how it's not just the southern resident orcas we're losing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
it's you, Joe,
okay.
for some reason. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to mute Joe. Go ahead, Gloria.
No worries. I wasn't sure if it was just me. I was like, I don't know, maybe I did something.
No, it wasn't you.
But yeah, I think it's us working together, and kind of what both really drove us, allowed us to tell the story of how it's not just the southern resident orcas, it's a whole ecosystem collapse that's happening, and how it's really much tied with Indigenous rights. And so, yeah, co-directed the film with Elena, and it was a beautiful experience. It was so cool working with her.
And this was the
Montreal premiere of the film, which is so special because I'm from France and Montreal, so it felt really special to bring it to like kind of my hometown. And this is Chief Ernest Alfred from the Namgi First Nation, so he was really, really involved in removing the fish farms in the Broughton Archipelago. He started the 284-day Swanson occupation. I believe that's the number of days. I could be wrong. And yeah, that's us at the premiere. I just love that photo. It was a sold-out show too. We've done so many sold-out shows, which is so cool. Yeah, it's always so special to do a screening. That's Will at one of his actions for to stop the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion project. For those of you who don't know, this was a while back, but Justin Trudeau, our prime minister, on one day kind of, declared we were in a climate emergency, and the very next day he bought the pipeline. So there was this banner that Will created, which says "Climate leaders don't build pipeline," because it was just, yeah, it's insane that this is happening.
What, since we're on that, what can we do?
I'm trying to figure that out too for the pipeline, because I mean, Will's determined to keep going. He's going to be doing, canoeing on the water, and I don't want to share too much about it because I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he can't get too close to the tankers. So I know he's going to be canoeing and just, I think, continuing to support, Tiny House Warriors, Will George's work. And we're doing research to see what we can do now. It's hard now that the oil has started to flow. I think let's still fight for it. I just don't yet know kind of the strategy, just because it's all new now that it's actually the oil is flowing. Yeah.
Deborah?
I mean, call and email Prime Minister Trudeau. It can never hurt to call and say that you want it to not be happening. And I guess, old saying, but vote with your dollars. We got to move away from oil. So any, work that gets us moving away from oil is work that is long-term going to help with that.
Yeah, Gloria, I had a question. Is this tar sand pipe? I mean, is this the pipeline from the tar sands? Is it going across? And then so they just found another way around the XL pipeline is all they've really done.
Let me think. I don't know if it's connected to the Exxon one, because I forget if it was happening at the same time. Because what happens is they're just doubling the flow. There's already one pipeline. Now they've built kind of a twin one. And it's just bringing, it's really economic value. It's bringing the oil to China and other markets.
Yeah. So it sounds like we need another Standing Rock is what it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This particular battle's been going on since at least 2015, as far back as I can remember, because we did a lot with, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but Wet'suwet'en.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a new film that came out. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks so powerful. Yenta. They've only premiered at 2 festivals so far, but it looks watch the trailer. It looks incredible, and it talks about the fight that happened in Wet'suwet'en with the pipeline there, which I think is Coastal GasLink, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Trans Mountain is terrifying.
Yeah, there's just so much, and it's hard to keep going, but we have to keep going, because we've recently been talking about the trawlers, and it's just, come on, and it's such a big scale of destruction, and it's just frustrating, but we keep going. Joe?
Oops, it looks like you unmuted me and then I muted myself again. So the I believe the Lummi were able to successfully stop a coal distribution point at center at Cherry Point.
Right.
I'm wondering, and the thing is, there's a something going on here next month at the Seattle Aquarium called All Our Relations, Tribute to the Orca.
Yep.
And it's a whole, oh boy, man, you are on it. Jeez. I'm just going to say a word and something's just going to appear. Anyway, so I'm just wondering if you are aware of this and if there's any way that you could come down and join, or at least have somebody maybe who you're working with.
Yeah, one of our teammates is in Victoria, actually. Sorry, her name is Victoria. One of our teammates is in Seattle. Her name is Victoria. So I will share this with her. I'm sure she would absolutely love to join and just connect with you all. Were you thinking of maybe even doing a screening there?
No, this is something that's already pre-done by several different tribes, and it's Sk'aliCh'elh is the organization that is organizing it, and I just think it would be really good to connect with them. They're people who are the former tribal chairman of the Lummi, as well as Kurt Russo, who has been, I don't even know his exact position with them, but he's worked with the Lummi for decades.
Yep.
And he first told me about this. So it's going to be pretty much a presentation that's already fixed, but there's going to be a lot of opportunity for connecting with people. And I think it just would be, I'm all about connections, so I think it'd be really good to have you guys connect.
Oh, well.
And Ruben George will be there. Ruben is from Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's as well, and he's related to Will. And yeah, we know Jay and Kurt. But I will definitely share this with Victoria. I think she would love to go, and we can share it also on our social media if anyone else in Seattle. I think those.
And I will be there.
Oh, good.
And Orca Network is sharing a table with Earth Law Center, so we'll have a little bit of table space and just a few cards. So if you have a card or anything, if you can send me a small stack, I would put them on the table.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it'll be
write
good.
That down so we don't forget.
Yeah.
I'm trying to send these to you right now, just so you have them.
Thank you.
Possible, yeah. So someone else has to talk while I do this. I can't not look at you and talk, but I'm looking at a whole other screen right now. So.
I wrote down.
Gloria. So, like, as far as the showings for your film, how about anything is better than nothing, right? If you can't get into the schools, sometimes the schools, they're reluctant. Not all of them, but I go to the schools sometimes. So, like, another place, maybe, what do you think, like a public library, or like a lot of people are now, since we don't have drive-ins or whatever, they do like an outdoor, theater, like movie night in a town. Like we do it here, they do it in Sk'aliCh'elh and stuff. So, like, it doesn't matter where you do it, as long as you're just doing it, right? Just to spread the awareness.
Even like pre-events, like I think the main thing is we need maybe someone with a connection somewhere. So like, if anyone listening, knows a library who would be interested, knows of a venue who would do it for free or something like that. And then also ideally who has capacity to help organize the screenings locally, just because it depends if we have the bandwidth to organize it ourselves. Sometimes we organize the screenings ourselves, or sometimes, a person or organization takes on the organizing and we just help promote it and try and really get as many people as possible there. So yeah, that's kind of how we've been able to do as many screenings as we've wanted to do.
Okay, great. Well, I just thought, because everyone was getting all bummed out about the pipeline, and it's the best thing to do is to do something, do something. Like you said, write a letter and, or email or whatever, just, instead of getting all bummed out, because it's a bummer, but we can, we are a great community. All of us love, everything, like you said. It's not just about the orcas, it's about everything, it's the entire ecosystem. So anything you can do, just do something.
And I saw something about community centers too.
June is Orca Awareness Month, people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
There's so much. Let's there's a I could tell like how many people are joining from different groups, and so there's more people on now than there was earlier. So is it okay that I go ahead and play that trailer again?
Yeah, of course.
So they know what we're talking about, and then we'll show them where to go to request the screening as well. So give me 1 second. See if I do it right this time. All right, here we go.
What are you seeing out there? Just picked her up. She still got it. Pretty bad.
There's clearly a pattern that the southern resident killer whales are not getting enough food and they're dying because of it. They're starving.
Oh, that's awful.
You know, we're in a time now when there's opportunity to stop it.
Industry has been able to just come in and move in and leave us with a disaster, a mess to clean up. The government has a very big, embarrassing stain on their history.
Not one orca whale did we lose while we were the stewards of that Snake River.
You know what? We've been far too nice for far too long. We're not asking for our land back. We're taking it.
Just powerful. So powerful. I'm going to show you guys where to go. Oh, go ahead, Marcia. Why do I have you muted? Let me.
Question for Gloria. So do you talk much about the Alaskan industrial trawlers in the film, how much their impact is happening, you know, farther south from them? Like,
Yeah, we didn't. We did want to bring up fisheries. We also wanted to bring up hatcheries. Like there's the herring fishery. There's so much we filmed that didn't make it to the film. Just because, yeah, we had to keep it to something that was, you know, manageable for the audience to kind of not get lost and by the end be like, oh, I'm no longer invested in this film. So that's one of the issues that we're like, okay, let's not focus on it. And we kind of kept with those 3 ones, you know, fish farms, Trans Mountain Pipeline, dams with the overarching Indigenous rights issues. But yeah, that's definitely, and I know more about the British Columbia fishery because we did a lot of research about that. Alaska, I know not as much of, so always keen to learn more.
okay, thank you. Just curious about that.
I'm going to add this real quick to the screen here, if we can walk us through it again. So this is coextinctionfilm.com. And if you guys go here and go to watch now, and then right here at the bottom says click here to host a screening. And this is where you put in your information and submit the form. So looks like super easy to get that done. So for folks who are saying we want to see this spread everywhere, get some screenings. And then Gloria has offered to help be in communication with some of these places. So if they're bigger places, you know, get in touch with Gloria to be able to do that. Did I say that right, Gloria?
You did. And I'll just add what we said at the beginning, that if you're in Canada, the film is streaming for free on CBC Gem. And, you know, there's little savvy ways to kind of pretend you're in Canada.
Ask Joe.
Yeah, Joe knows.
VPN.
But otherwise, it is playing on EarthX TV, and there'll be new times posted soon on the website. Right now, it's outdated if you go into the US one or UK and Ireland. So don't worry if you open that and you're like, "This is March. What the heck?" There'll be updated times soon.
So EarthX TV is where that. Okay, thank you for that. And because
Brandy will be in Canada next month. That's also a great way to do it.
There you go. So you're part of Coexistence Films, right? That's correct?
Yeah, Coexistence Films. We've done those 2 films for now, and we're working on multiple other projects at the moment. But just continuing to try and tell stories and lead impact campaigns to create social and environmental justice. And then I'm also working with 2 other girls on Seal Folk, and we're also kind of doing storytelling and activism. Right now, we're working on a wolf story. So I'm in
that's cool.
West.
Warrior Spirit. Which,
Yeah.
Tell me what that one again. I think you
That's
mentioned.
the one. You're right. I didn't say the title earlier. That's the one with Will George.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's the one that's also streaming for free on CBC Gem in Canada. And this one, we don't currently have a distributor for it. So we're looking into how we want to release it internationally. And we're definitely going to be finding a way that it's streaming. So, or at least like, for rent or something that you can just go click a link and watch it. So stay tuned. I think the most updated place to kind of know updates on those films, it's on our website and Instagram and newsletter that we just started. And for those who have just come in, it follows Tsleil-Waututh land defender Will George, who is in co-extinction. It follows his journey trying to stop the Trans Mountain Pipeline Expansion Project and his journey in the court system.
And Alexandra Morton, was that Alexandra Morton that I saw?
Yeah, she's in co-extinction as well. Yeah, she's.
Saw Ken. I saw Ken there in the beginning of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ken is in the film at the beginning. Yeah, it was amazing to get to meet him and share some of his words and work in the film.
I'll show you guys the page again. So coexistentfilm.com is for the film, and then coexistentfilms with an S.com is where you can see the webpage here. And if you guys go, you can look at all this stuff. Check out the co-extinction, and then also Warrior Spirit, which kind of goes into more detail here.
Yeah.
And it shows you how to watch that. So I just want to make sure everyone gets to see all your cool work, Gloria, because you're doing so much, and we just really, really appreciate it. This community really, really appreciates it. I'm going to check in Howard. Howard, any questions so far?
Only has it shown in Langley, Washington. I mean, the Washington Langley. I know there's another one, but where the whale there is, because there's a thriving orca community on Whidbey Island, and it's sort of a lot of it is focused around Langley. So there's a great little theater called the Clyde, and I will try to get it shown there.
I don't think we have. I just
would come, Howard.
Sorry?
I'm pretty sure the Noops would come too to represent the.
I do believe.
So I think, let's do that.
Yep.
And I don't think it has. I just looked at we have like a master list of all the screenings we've done, and I don't think we've done it in Langley, Washington.
It's natural. It's got to show there, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll make arrangements.
Awesome.
That's really awesome. Joe, were you going to say something? No, he's just looking very studious there. I love it. I want to just check in, Stephanie. We haven't checked in with you. Anything you want to say, or do you have any questions about the film or Gloria's work?
It looks fabulous, and just thank you for getting the word out there. The more word gets out there, the better off the whales will be. So
yeah, it's really, really.
And you've all thanked me a lot, but I want to thank you all because I feel like we're all doing our bit and we're all working hard, and I think that's the way. You were talking about all these big issues and how do we get them, and it's all about grassroots movements and kind of focusing on one thing and keep going until you get somewhere a little bit further. And I'm so grateful for this community.
Thanks for saying.
Takes the village.
Yeah, does take a village. And there's so many people, I've said this before on this forum, but I have property on San Juan Island, so I'm there quite often. And it's amazing how many people are ignorant of all of these things. It really is. And you start talking and it's like, what? I mean, they really don't know. So it's like, wow, it's crazy.
Another San Juan Island screening. We did one with the Friday Harbor Film Festival, but it was kind of right in the middle of COVID. So it was the usual festival running. We did it at Mike's, which was pretty cool. But I feel like another screening could be really cool.
You need a do-over on that one, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a good weekend for it, just saying, so we'll talk.
Yeah, me too.
Sounds good.
And this sounds really weird, but Florida has a love affair with killer whales. And, it's rooted in captivity with SeaWorld and all of that. But the public sentiment has turned 180, against SeaWorld. And these kind of shows and programs to bring to light the wild orcas issues would be so amazing. It's thousands of miles away from the source, but there's just love for them here. Well, I'm in Vermont right now, but in Florida where I live. And if there's a way I can possibly figure out how to get that film shown to eyeballs here in Florida, it would be amazing. Because, SeaWorld was so popular for decades, and now they're, nobody even wants to say if they even have ever owned an annual pass. It's just this pariah. So it's a good time to strike while that iron is hot and just show how these whales are struggling. It would be really good to show it here. So if there's a way I can figure that out, I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, and again, feel free to email me to even brainstorm kind of what the different places could be. Yeah,
I think maybe we schedule a meeting with you
great
this week, Gloria, this group, because and whoever wants to join that's watching, because it sounds like you've just got a whole lot of film ambassadors on board, ready to go out there and spread the word. So, but no, seriously, I think we should. See what we want to do and how we want to approach that, because it does need to get out there, like you said, Marcia, out there in Florida, in another country, for 6,000 kids to watch. Young adults.
Well, I'd just like to add an anecdote that just to illustrate how much people all over, all over the country, all over the world, love these whales, right? And I got an email from a high school student in Texas, to the American Cetacean Society email, and you want to know what they could do to help orcas. What can we do here in Texas, right? So I'll write back to him and tell him to try to get a screening for his high school. I think they're probably out for the year now, so it would be in the fall, but I can imagine this student would get this shown at his high school.
Amazing. That would be awesome.
That's awesome. People care, and I think sometimes people think like Stephanie, you were saying, like not a lot of people know, and I think people think, oh, well, we're landlocked, and they need to show it where it matters everywhere. It matters everywhere, and so Texas, Mexico, just saying. I mean, just it doesn't matter. It's about getting the word out there. We gotta.
Well, worldwide, because these orcas are the most. I mean, they're the most popular. They really are. They're the most studied. So we have people from all over the world that love these orcas, and so anywhere you are, I think it doesn't matter in the United States or wherever, because these things need to get out all over the world.
Yeah.
Netflix needs to. Somebody, they got it on there. I mean, we got it. Like the world needs to know, and that's a great way to do it. And then also with some follow up, like action items. Like I know Christina's working on the next event, the next Breach the Dams event. And being able to show this film and saying, here's what you could do. Here's where you can go. Here's who you can talk to. Following up with those very specific actions is really important.
Absolutely. I had two thoughts. I forget what the first one was. If anybody knows anyone like, Netflix, Disney, all of those things, those connections always help as well, because then I can connect them with our distributors. So if you do know anyone there, because that would be incredible if it did get on a streaming platform worldwide or in the US. And then the second thing I wanted to share is just our GoFundMe. We're raising funds to bring that to 6 different grassroots organizations, and also Co-Extinction for more screenings and such. So it's 2 organizations or people per issue in the film, with a focus on Indigenous-led movements. So you've got, supporting Wilt's work, supporting Tiny House Warriors, supporting Ion's work, Mimi Poo Protect the Environment, all of these different folks who are doing really important work. So if you do have a little bit of, $5, $10, anything, that's a great action that we're looking to support on.
Let's do it, guys. So GoFundMe.com, and then if you want, there's the link. But you can also type in, when you go to GoFundMe, you can type in help land defenders and activists protect. And there it is. So I'll leave this up for just a minute so you guys can see what it is. And you can copy down the web link there. Matter of fact, I'll let Howard talk a little and I'll get it up on so you guys can just click it. For those of you on Facebook anyway. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Lots of folks watching. Please share the show so that more people can see it, more people can share it, because there might be that one person that does have the contact at Disney or the contact at Netflix to be able to make that difference. Get this out there. Everybody needs to see these films, you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, BBC, heck yeah.
Right? Seriously, yeah.
Yeah. And everybody donate $10. You can afford $10.
I'm gonna get it on there right now. Hold on. I'm getting it. Okay, Howard.
I was just waiting for the thing to show up so I could go do it. I mean, because seriously, that really helps. Like, so she can continue this amazing work, because this is what we need, and we all need to get together and support each other so we can continue this work. It's really important. So, I really appreciate you, Gloria. Yeah, it was the last time I saw you. It was like kind of emotional to see you, even because Jesse passed, and we never got to finish the breach of the march, and I mean, so it's really great to see you doing so well and making all of these awesome films. You rock.
Thank you.
You do, and I appreciate you. So. I'm going to donate, and I'm just waiting for Annette to get it up there. And is it on there?
Yeah, it should be on there now.
Okay. So everybody else watching you.
There we go.
Yep. Okay. So what else can we do? Is there anything else we can do for you?
I think that's all of it. I just next time I'm in Washington, I would love to see you.
Yeah.
Maybe
at the showing. Maybe you could come to the showing.
There you go. Heck yeah.
That would be fun.
I would love that.
I think
that
you
would
got
be
to come
awesome.
to the showing and have a Q&A and get to hang out with this whole crew, because that would be awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
People are asking me for your email address. Are you good with that?
Yeah. Here, can I write it?
I might. You put it in the private chat, and I can add it if you're okay with that.
Yeah, because I need to email you directly for the screening, because for some reason I can get onto the webpage, but when I go to watch now, it stops me again. So I don't know.
We are revamping our website and moving it to another platform. That's just going to be a lot easier. We're going to be updating our Take Action page, all of that. So in the next month, it'll be updated, but still.
That's an easy email address. That was convenient. Gloria at Co-Extinction Film.
Easy.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I know a lot of people are going to want to reach out. We're getting close to our hour, whatever that means, because we can go as long as we want. But I just want to check in with everyone on screen. And those of you watching, if you have any questions, now would be the time to pop those in. A lot of comments, a lot of people in support of this. Gloria, I'm so happy Deb Allers connected us. Deb Allers just has so many contacts, and I'm really happy that she put us in touch, because we're going to get this film out there. We have to for them. For them. Go for it, Joe.
So have you talked to Neil Young about it?
I haven't, but that would be pretty epic.
I just learned from the farmers market that he and Crazy Horse will be playing in Vancouver in July, late July, 2 shows.
Okay.
So you never know.
Is Neil Young like an orca fan?
He's environment. He's like one of the biggest environmentalists you can imagine.
I think he would resonate with this.
It would. I think this film would really resonate with him.
I'll try connecting with like his PR team. I don't know how to get in touch with him, but
yeah, I've been trying to get in touch with him for a whole nother big environmental thing. So haven't had luck yet. But
Yeah.
I thought, Megan, you're Canadian. You all know each other. So
No, of course, I have it on speed
Oh,
dial.
yeah.
I call Neil
Right.
every day. We chat.
well, just a little bug in your ear for that.
You never know. Sometimes you reach out to the PR team and they get back to you. So like I'll definitely try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. We got a folder of information to Neil's stage manager once, and I'm not sure if it got into his hands. We didn't hear back, but that's just sort of how you try to seep it in there. Because there's only a few degrees of separation between any of us and executives with streaming services and networks and all sorts of potential platforms. So
that's how we got
we'll just keep it in our
Momoa.
minds when we have a chance. Just slip into the conversation, because I love talking about it. It's a really important film, and I really do want to get the word out. So I'll definitely keep it in mind. Just talking to producers or anyone else that may know someone who knows someone. So
Thank you.
it can happen.
I
That's
appreciate that. And yeah, like the degrees of separation during the march, we asked, we did like a 14-day march, or no, wait. Yeah, it ended up being 14 days because of COVID. We did a 14-day march back in 2020, for those who don't know.
I recall well.
With the breach, to get the dams breached. And yeah, we asked people, like, if you know someone who knows someone who knows Jason Momoa, and someone knew someone who knew someone, and he ended up posting about it. And it was so cool because he, posted about the dams needing to be breached. So it can definitely happen. So if anybody knows someone who knows Neil Young, let's try.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. If anyone knows anyone who knows Jason Momoa who wants to come hang out with us, contact me away.
That would be pretty
I
epic.
love me some Jason Momoa. I'm just saying.
Standing invitation.
There you go. Always open for that, for sure. Just a reminder, like we're all here in this particular platform. We're all here in Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's legacy, and to stand for her legacy, and that is standing for her family. Brandy wrote a really she posted something, and I want to read it, and I might not read it as well as she would, but I just want to share it with you because it ends with why we're all connected. So for Toki, she gave so much when ripped her from her mother's side and family in the capture at Penn Cove in 1970. She gave so much when they transported her to the other side of the nation in a land too warm, too bright, and too far away from the ones she loved. She gave so much when she found herself trapped in a concrete tank that was not as deep as she was long, with water that burned her eyes and sun she could never get shade from. She gave so much when she found a kindred soul in Hugo, only to lose him too soon, and she was alone. She gave so much when she breached for them, tail slapped and swam because she had to. She gave so much with her resilience, her patience, her gentleness. Oh, she gave so much when she was unwell, injured, and overworked, and resigned herself to this way of existence. She gave so much when the storms raged around her and she was left in her bowl to wait it out. She gave so much when they cut her food in half, spoiled and frozen fish far from the salmon her family feeds on. She gave so much when they realized she sang her mother's song every day for 52 years. And then they came, her people. They sang to her, drummed, and performed sacred ceremony. She felt the strength once again. She knew them, and they knew her. She was as happy as she had been in many years. Love is a twin, and she saw it in their faces. They were her home, and she was going there. She gave so much. When the ancestors called her home, in her final act of giving and love, she gave us each other to carry on her legacy, to carry on her legacy, to protect her family. What a gift we have been given. With honor and respect, we will carry on in her name, and we will always remember. She gave so much. So when we continue to talk about why we keep going, that was a gift that she gave us, is to connect us all. And so I'm just so grateful for all of you, and just circle keeps getting bigger and bigger, all through her love and the love for her family. So just want to
Thank
thank
you for reading that. And that's Toki's story in a poem. It's beautiful.
Brandy. Thank you for writing that. I got to hang out with Brandy and Dee. And Dee said she gave us each other, and that's kind of what we were saying after our whale watching trip. Is I was sitting there with some people I had never met before, and but know so well, and that's what she's done, and we'll keep going, and just really, really thank you, Gloria, for your voice. We appreciate you so much. I'm going to share a couple more pictures because there you are, and spreading awareness. So we just thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this beautiful time. It was the best way to spend a Sunday.
Well, you're welcome to hang out with us like Joe. He just pops on whenever he wants, but you're welcome to do that as well.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, having different folks on, giving a different perspective for sure. Next week, we have Dalila Lewis from Argentina, who's going to be joining us and to give us some updates on Shemank and kind of what they're doing on the ground over there in their activism. And so we look forward to next week. For that, I'll go around the room. I've thanked you. I can't thank you enough, but I want to give everyone the opportunity to close out. Christina?
Yeah, I just have so much gratitude. Yep. So, till I see you again.
So much gratitude to you, to all of you, really. Endless gratitude.
Deborah?
Thank you, Gloria, for being here with us today. It gives an older person's heart hope to see young people with so much knowledge and passion and drive. And we're going to hold the light, and you guys are going to carry it forward. So thank you for all that you've done.
Joe?
Thank you so much, Gloria. It was really nice to be able to hear your words in real time, and what you've done, all the work you've done, is really inspirational. And some of us have been doing this for decades, and it's so important for us to see renewed energy and commitment to trying to protect these animals, and then even more to try to heal the planet. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Howard?
I really appreciate you being here today, Gloria. It's been really, to fill us in on how the film is doing and to inspire us to get the word out, to get more people to see it and work together. We are a team, one heart, one mind.
Absolutely. Howard? Marcia?
Hard to follow that, but my words exactly. So much gratitude to you, Gloria, and helping Toki's family. It's such important work, and just to spread that awareness. And like Deb said, we're passing that light, it's so important that these young people get out there and understand how powerful these forces are and how we can combat them. And I really appreciate all your work. I'm trying to hold back some tears right now, honestly, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Toki thanks you. We feel that through her, and she brought us all together. I wouldn't know any of these beautiful faces on the screen if it wasn't for her bringing us together, and that includes you. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Stephanie?
In the words of my grandmother's country, Tusendak, which means many thanks.
Deb Cruz?
Same here. Thank you. Stay with us.
Oh, I will. I would love to share a few words. Just my heart is so warm right now, and I feel like your words really strengthen me and give me so much strength and energy and hope, and just to receive all that love you've all given me. That's like so powerful. So thank you. Sometimes you work it behind the laptop and you just don't know what impact you have or if it's helpful, and to just connect with community, connect with all of you, and hear all of you just say all these really beautiful, kind-hearted words, that I'm going to carry that with me. So thank you.
Much gratitude for your work, Gloria. Thank you. We'll go ahead and close out today. And we haven't played this song in a long time. It's Shirley Bob, Farewell audio. It's not goodbye, it's farewell. We will see you again. I love all of you. Gloria, you're welcome to hang out for a little while if you want. We kind of just close out after the show's over. It's up to you. But thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week. Again, we're going to have Delila Lewis from Argentina with us to give us some updates on Jamaican. So I'm looking forward to that. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's.